Welcome, everyone, back to another exciting, thrilling, just off the walls episode of The First Watch. We're excited to have you here. Thank you for watching. And as we get into episode 9 of our campaign, we are deep in the muck of it all right now. So let's get through some introductions and our opening credits and get right to it. My name is Andrew Coons. I'm the DM and showrunner for our little program here, and I'm super excited to be bringing you this episode. Let's go around. We're going to popcorn to our cast, and we're going to start with Blake. On the spot.
Oh gosh. Hi everybody, I'm Blake. Twitter, Blake C. Francis, playing Grokus Darkbringer, and I'm not ready for this episode at all. Like y'all saw last episode, gonna pass it to Darby.
Hi, my name is Darby. I was definitely ready for that. I use she, her pronouns, and Peony does as well. Peony is definitely an artificer, only an artificer, definitely not a ranger, with a Drake Warden clan conclave. So yeah, I'm here to support Grokus and maybe shoot some people. I'm gonna pass it to Cheryl.
I guess I'm supposed to say, oh, darn. Hi, I'm Cheryl. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Pry, the Tiefling Rogue. You can find me online variously as the Roving Naturalist and part of the Nature Check Project. And I will pass it to Joe.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joe, and I'm playing Malachite, the Earth Genasi Artificer. And I will pass it to Dana.
Hey, I'm Dana. I will be playing Artemis Valor, Asimor Wizard, and I will pass it to Casey.
Yo, what's up, guys? I am Casey. I'm playing Oranus, the half-elf bard / warlock, and I am the opposite of Blake. I am so ready.
I've been getting text messages from Casey all week being like, can we just play early? Can we just get the people together? So, but we're finally here. Let's watch our intro sequence and then get right into it. The party has been in the Dwarven Mines for the last 24, well, not even quite 24 hours, but the last day so far. You all kind of convinced the folks who were doing the mining to let you all down in here and began the process of digging deeper, where you found monsters and treasure and eventually a forge. A large open space with tons of machinery that was some sort of assembly line for a big machine that you weren't quite sure what it was. You met there Dr. Aldrich Anderson, as well as Clarence Hillfoot and his son Hugh, who are local blacksmiths, and they had been basically captured and forced to work down here by one of Broback Great Brew's lieutenants, Elixio, and they were tasked with figuring out what the forge machines did and getting things working. They were unsuccessful, but however, you all coming in, providing a little more perspective and some history, were able to figure out that this is some sort of big operation for building a singular large machine. And upon finding a journal, you read through an account by the forge master, Colehart, who detailed not only what this room was building, but what happened to the dwarves 300 years ago. And what you found out was that the Dwarven kingdom had been overrun by a spreading case of vampirism. It started in one spot in the Wyvern Spine, a mountain range in southwest Alson, and spread quickly, and eventually got to the point where the dwarves decided to use this machinery to build a giant drill that would bore down deep, deep, deep into the earth, deeper than they had ever dug before, and seal themselves away so that they would no longer infect the kingdom with the vampiric disease. It took some time to process this information, to comfort Grokus, one of the last remaining of his kind, until finally deciding that rather than waiting around for Elixio or his thugs to come back, you all would get Clarence and Aldorf and Hugh out of here. So you push through the dungeon, kind of back, kind of finding some new paths until you found yourselves back in the barracks area that you had originally explored, and then made your way up, tentatively, a few at a time, up towards the main entrance, where you found a sleeping Patrick, the kind of, not guard, but kind of the accountant of sorts, who was unfortunately tasked with keeping watch for you all, since he was the one who let you in the first place. This poor boy was accosted by you all and questioned, and that is roughly where we ended our session last time. So some of you have made contact with Patrick, some of you are still coming up out of the tunnels. Your Grung companion, Greta, who led you down into the mines, has not been found yet or seen. But as we start today's session, I'm going to say that you all are kind of coming up to the part where it's the big sloping walk up out of the mines. So you're all kind of on that level, but maybe at various places. And what would you all like to do? It is, just for context, about roughly 3 o'clock in the morning right now, as you all took a long rest and then decided to leave in the dead of night. Don't everybody start all at once.
He just has he has a cone just kind of gripped in his hand, just just walking, kind of like staring off, like he's like present but not. So yeah, he's kind of there, just walking.
Who is where right now?
We're all in
up
the
top, right? Like
We're all up top. Okay.
Oh, we're all top. The last I remember, we were all in the tunnel after we had just dropped down because
some of you had made your way up the rope and over, and unless there was something specific you wanted to do down there, I'm just going to say for the ease of things, you all have kind of made your way up. Some of you, the ones who were interrogating Patrick, are all the way up at the entrance of the tunnel. It's 100 feet, maybe more, that kind of goes down and sloping. So some of you are kind of farther back, and some are up with Patrick talking to him.
And the trio of captives, I guess, are still in the room where we left them.
I thought you had brought them with you, or were you scouting ahead?
They didn't want to go. Well, no, they
yeah,
didn't
we
want to
scouted
go with
ahead.
us.
We scouted.
Because we tried to, but he didn't want to. Clarence didn't want to endanger his son, which made sense. So they didn't want to leave until Elixir was taken care of.
Yeah.
Or they knew it was safe to leave. Yeah, I feel like, just to clarify, like Clarence was kind of saying, I don't want to use my boy as like a diversion or anything, and I want to keep him safe. So he would have basically been like, if you all say it's safe to leave now, I'll go, but no danger, no fighting while Hugh was around.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, we missed our chance, y'all, just to be like, yeah, he's with us. Damn.
Yeah. They took your cart, Malachite. They impounded it or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's not great, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, what do you guys want to do now? Do we want to wait and attack the people, or figure it out here?
Nah, I mean, I think we should get out of here. I think we should get these folks to safety somewhere.
Do we have a safe place in the city we can get them?
Safest place would be May's place, but people can get in there easy, obviously.
I don't believe any place in the city would be safe, especially when they put up eyes everywhere. So honestly, taking them back there is probably a death sentence. So,
I wonder if we should. If we fail at our mission, but they're still in their place where they were last left, worst case scenario, they can pretend that if we never mention them and they pretend that they've never seen us, then if all goes wrong, they are at least in a place where they receive food and they might be stuck down there, but they're alive and guaranteed to be alive for a little longer. We gave them some information about what this machine is so they can at least drip feed some information for a few months if need be. So maybe we should let them be down there.
I think we should give them that choice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be my...
that's a very good point that you brought up, that at least no matter what, they can still feign ignorance. So it's a really good point.
So then the big thing is we have to take out Elixio, whatever his name is.
Or get them far enough away without him knowing, and then figure this out before his thugs come to look for them in a week. Right?
But then how do we get them? Where are we taking them? The only place I know of is Grispin, and that's, like a week away. So,
Well, I mean, I like Peony's idea as long as they're okay with that. And we just go, and after we've cleared up all this mess, they can go back to the town and get back to their normal lives.
so then we should probably go back down and let them know.
Yeah.
Give them that choice.
Uranus heads back. He's going down the hole.
Okay.
Do we all want to go back down there, or
I'll wait up here.
Okay.
Do we want to ask this guy about if he knows anything about Elixio or whatever his name is?
He knows much of anything, to be honest. I think he just sits here.
But he could.
Yeah, but those guys have to come through here at some point, right?
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
nodding.
we'd
Is
have
he
to see
hearing
him.
us?
Are you all? I thought you all were kind of up by him.
Oh, I
or
don't
are
think
you
we
farther
need to be
back?
having any part of this conversation near
Okay.
him.
Okay. Yeah.
God.
And he
Right
is
in front of
over.
him.
If you look over his
Yeah,
shoulder,
no.
he is sitting at the desk, and he is just like rocking and just like.
We traumatized him.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
he'll get over it.
Oh boy. You might know something. After all, someone is lying to the townsfolk about what is being done here. And so all of the miners have to know some sort of story is being told since they are not finding silver. So
I mean, he does seem like a liar, but that could just,
Focus.
Well, the thing is, he's a very terrified person right now, so he'll probably tell us pretty much anything we want.
Hey, Grokus, can I have my cone back?
how long has it
I
been?
need to get down to.
like
Tell
10 minutes?
How long has it been?
Like 10 minutes.
Can I try to mage hand it away from me?
Yes,
I mean-
I would not say this is being done stealthily.
Oh no, it's not.
No, I'm kidding.
So in that case, it would be an opposed
Strength? I mean, because it's 10 pounds. I mean, like,
That's
Mage is
true.
not as strong as.
Yeah, it'd be your
So-
Dex Uranus versus Grokus's strength.
Okay, I can do that.
I mean, okay.
Warm up your dice.
Oh no. Where's
First
my?
rolls.
Is
guys.
this a strength save, or what is this, a strength?
I'll
Or just a
say it's
contest?
I'll say it's a
Oh, just
save for
strength?
you. Yeah,
This is-
Ooh,
No, it's a-
baby.
strength
Your
save. for
magic
Grokus.
Hold
user.
on.
Good luck.
I got a 17 on the die. How do I get to? I gotta find my character now.
Oh, I think it's
You can
gonna.
guide yourself, Grokus.
Oh yes, I definitely will. If I feel it coming.
Can I give myself bardic inspiration?
Cannot.
Because-
That is not something you can mechanically do.
That's tough. Where is
What
my?
did you- what did you get?
markers? Hold on.
So Grokus, you got 19, and Casey, what was yours for your Dex check?
19.
19 tie. Okay, so on a tie, there's really no resolve, right? So Grokus, you still have a hold of it, and the mage hand still has a hold of the cone, and you're just kind of like struggling with it there in the moment.
I let go.
Okay.
Oranus still falls back because he's. It doesn't make sense because I'm using mage hand, but
You got so into your own head.
yeah, wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Just be
So what do you do
careful,
now that
lad.
you got the cone?
Just be careful. Just promise you'll be careful this time.
I promise I will do better.
I'm going with him. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I start walking away down the hole.
Yeah.
Okay. And you use the cone to
Well,
hammer
if
yourself down?
Artemis is coming, I can just hop on the
Yes.
broom.
Okay.
It's probably-
All right. The two of you head back down, go through the tunnels. You know now where you're going. It's a quick kind of whoosh back through a few places to get back to the forge, where Dr. Anderson and Clarence are kind of sitting there and just in low conversation with each other. And they see you come in. They kind of pop up on their feet, and they, is it safe for us to leave?
It is safe. Yes, the issue just
Good.
is.
Hugh, come on, son.
Well, we just don't know where exactly to take you right now. So
Home.
well, that probably won't be safe yet. We still have to deal with the Alexio problem. But what if you guys maybe just stayed here and we went and tried to handle him? And worst case scenario, if we aren't able to handle him, you guys just have plausible deniability. We've never been here. And
You have enough information to start the forge, or at least start a part of it, that will be enough to keep you safe, at least for now.
So, well, hold on. So you leave us here in filth and squalor in order to go out there and hopefully do what? Kill Alexio?
yeah,
Yep,
Pretty
that
much.
was the plan, yes.
And if it doesn't
Something
work,
like
then
that.
we're stuck here. We're stuck under his thumb. We don't have any way.
But
well, we can get you out right now. That's not a
Oh.
problem. It's just keeping you guys safe once you're out.
No, I
Does it-
understand. I'm sorry. It's
there's
I
just
neither
an
want to be here nor leave. Do you understand the dilemma?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can send you towards a safe town if you want to just hide out for a little bit.
Aldous, what do you think? And the doctor is kind of like rubbing his temples, and his elven eyes are very wide, and he's just kind of thinking. He's like, the truth of the matter is that, as horrible as these conditions are down here, the young bard has a point. If they die, as long as they don't say anything, nothing really can come back to us. Now, we're putting a lot of trust in the fact that they won't say anything, Clarence.
We won't say anything. You have my word. We won't say anything.
Make a persuasion check, if you would.
Persuasion. That's a 9, so 19.
Jeez.
Nice. That was a journey.
Yeah, you're like, this is great. The doctor kind of looks you in the eye, sets his jaw, and he's like, I can't say I don't have trepidations, but I'm going to trust you.
Thank you.
Clarence, we need to stay here. But you need to let us know as soon as we can get out.
Of
Absolutely.
course.
We want to go home, as long as home is safe.
We'll be back. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. And who knows? Maybe before the end of the week, we'll be done with this. But
Do you have any
we'll see.
provisions you can leave? They give us barely enough food to get through a fortnight each time they come.
Do I have provisions? I don't think I do.
I have 20 pounds worth of rations. I will just give them all. Blech.
You're not there.
You don't know that though.
Bye.
Okay.
I have 1 day worth of rations,
Same.
so I will give that to them.
I'll give it to them too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
What we have.
Anything helps. Thank you. And Clarence actually says, I don't like this, but I don't like any of the options, and if the doctor says it's the right one, then I'll trust him. Thank the tiefling lady. I don't know what she said, but Hugh seems to be in a little bit better spirits since talking to her.
Of course.
We'll get you guys out of here. It'll be okay.
All right.
Ronis is gonna shake their hands and head back up.
Okay.
Artemis is just gonna give a nod and then follow after.
Alrighty. Two of you make your way back up. If you do want to send down more food, you have time to make another trip or whatnot. I know Darby was texting about sending rations down, so... In a bucket, apparently. Yes, okay.
Well, because there's that rope, right? Like
The rope is this thick.
And it doesn't go
Buckets like
straight
that.
to where they are either.
Hey, somebody take my rations. Peony doesn't need them.
Easy enough for somebody to do. We'll just say that happens.
It's 10 days worth of rations.
You all find yourself now reconvening at the base of the long trek up out of the mine, but now with a plan.
All right, they're good to wait.
Well, we should still solve this sooner rather than later.
I agree. Question is where to start.
We want to ask Patrick.
Asking is not going to hurt, right?
Yeah.
As long as we ask carefully.
Aranis is gonna push Artemis to the front. Just ask him. Just ask him if he knows anything.
Oh wait, hold on. Pri's gonna dig in her bag and come up with like a compact and be like, do you hate me?
A little bit. Yes.
I can put it away.
Stop.
All right, she stands on her tiptoes to reach Artemis's face and like put some blush on.
And I touch Artemis on the shoulder and cast enhance ability. What I'm gonna do. Which one's it called?
I hate
Eagle
all of
Splendor.
I asked permission first.
Artemis, look at me. You know, there's no way I want you to go talk to him, but if it gets us out of here quicker, I mean, it's helps us out, helps Clarence, helps him escape better than helps with surveillance. So I know it's not fun. I don't like him either. You know that, but if we can help them.
Think about not liking him.
Oh, grumpy.
I have reasons.
Okay, do we want to talk about questions before you talk to him, or
Yes.
you want to have a list?
I'd like to have a list. Yeah. So what am I asking?
I don't know. I guess we want to, like I said, ask carefully. So maybe, like, asking as if you don't know anything. Like, what did they say they were mining for down here? And just sort of, like, circle your way closer to the truth and see how much he does or does not know.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
Are there suggestions?
We could say that we found something and we need to know who his boss is. I figure his boss would know better than he would. Maybe the foreman that was here earlier, if we can find him.
He did not seem very patient to talk to us, but maybe.
He did not.
Okay. Anything else? No?
I mean,
Flat out ask him if he knows anything about Alexio.
I like the blunt approach.
That's what I would do.
that is giving him information, though, right?
Oh,
Like when you ask a question, depending on what the question is about, then you would alert that person that you know something about that topic, right? But you could ask him who is funding this,
No,
right?
I would just cut straight to the chase. Be like, look, dude, we know that everything isn't the way it seems down here. So we know Elixio's been coming in and out. Where is he?
But if he's that scared, what if he tips them off to end up killing them? I mean, yes, the blunt approach works, but we realize it's not just our lives in line right here. We have them to worry about. So, like she was saying, if we just tip him off, then he gets scared and tips off him because maybe there's a way to reach out to him quicker. So that.
How would he tip him off without us knowing?
Because he might have. I don't. Magic works in mysterious ways. I mean, there's things out there that I can't even comprehend still. So.
What if she offers to take him on a date?
Uranus.
You just say that. You just say that. You don't have to actually do it, just to get some information. And then, later on, if you want to go, you can go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go.
No, that's an easy no. That's a hard no.
Isn't it also just like really mean? Like, really?
I still think we just take advantage of his fear right now and just be like, hey man, we could mess you up if we wanted to. Just tell us what we want to know and we'll be out of your hair.
If you were willing to put those people's lives at risk, and by all means.
I don't see it as a risk personally, but I mean, I think this is a kid who doesn't know much about anything. He probably doesn't even know what we want to know, but.
Uranus is just going to walk over to him. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Quick question, bud. Do you know anything about Alexio?
The name doesn't ring a bell. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I
No,
swear I don't know.
You're good. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Do you know where we can find your boss? Where we can talk to him?
The foreman? I don't know where he lives. He's usually here by 9, like it's late in the morning, but he's the boss. What can you say?
Uranus looks back at the group like.
Can we like roll insight or something on this?
You can.
Ooh,
yep.
yeah.
And don't forget, you have a description of Elixio.
Oh yeah, the teeth. Yeah. Can I go back and say, tiefling guy?
Not her.
No, not her. No.
Okay.
You might have seen him come in or out of here.
There've been a few tieflings on the crew.
A few. Okay.
Do you know anything else about what he looks like?
He probably would have had an entourage with him, at least a few other people.
Oh, that
looking guys. Yeah.
Oh,
That?
that tiefling.
Oh.
I'm not supposed to talk about him.
Patrick.
Okay, but say you could talk about him. What would you be able to say?
I'm just gonna sit on his desk.
Oh my goodness.
And with English Splendor, Artemis has advantage on all charisma checks. Or has advantage on them.
She does, yep. So go ahead and make a persuasion check, Artemis, with advantage.
God.
Like a 50
Back your
secretary.
eyelashes a little.
Are we close to the entrance? Because Groke's gonna wait outside. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
right
this,
at the entrance.
Like he's
yeah.
gonna wait outside, just kind of.
Can I give her help?
She's already got advantage, so yeah.
Okay.
Purple.
You could inspire her, but yeah.
This is terrible. 17.
A 17? Okay. This guy's not hard to crack. He kind of well, if I was able to talk about him, I would say that there was a red tiefling that came through and had a few folks with him, and he just came one time, but he was there in the mines for maybe an hour and then came out, and we were all paid 20 gold and never speak of it again, which is
By
a lot
him?
of money.
Paid by him? Or someone else?
The foreman gave it out. I don't know where it came from.
Oh,
Okay.
the foreman gave it out.
Do you remember how many people he came in with?
I don't remember exactly. Maybe like 4 or 5.
Sound
muted?
on that one.
You're muted. Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Couldn't hear
Can you
you.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I don't know exactly how many came in, maybe 4 or 5?
Were there the same number when he left?
I'm sorry, I don't really remember. Maybe less.
What's your foreman's name?
Jax, with an X.
Jax.
That's just Mr. Jax. That's just what we're
Mr.
supposed to
Jax.
call him.
Okay. Good to know.
Thank you. And
Yeah, you're welcome.
awkwardly get up and walk away.
Okay. Do you all like leave the mine or everything? Or are you still hanging out by the entrance?
Sort of like grab one of their elbows and sort of quietly be like, do we want to make sure he doesn't talk about this?
Give him money?
More money?
You won't talk about this, will you, Patrick?
Oh no, of course not. No.
Insight check?
You can roll insight or an Uranus if you want to roll either persuasion or intimidation, depending on how you're playing this.
I'll go persuasion right now.
Okay.
I was going to go intimidation.
12.
12.
Oh, that's a 4, so a 14.
A 14. Okay.
It was almost an 18.
He says he won't talk about it, and he seems sincere. However, he just talked about the thing he was told not to talk about when given 20 gold. So it's kind of the whole, like, he might be telling the truth, or he may just not have that much of a spine. Hard to tell.
You should promise a date so he won't talk about this. Maybe. I don't know.
I regret this
What's
so
a
much.
date? I
Patrick,
don't understand why fruits are so expensive.
you were so helpful and told us things that you were not supposed to talk about.
I know.
But-
Please don't tell Mr. Jax that I told you.
Of course not. We will not, but we were hoping that you would extend the same courtesy and not talk about this conversation.
Well, no. Like I just told the gentleman over here. I won't say anything.
Well, yes, but you just did say things when you made that promise to someone else. So we were wondering. No, we were just wondering what it would take for you to keep this promise.
If you talk, I will literally fold you up like origami.
Ah!
I can do that.
Uranus.
Ooh,
Thing.
Make an intimidation check.
Can Peony pull out like a paper crane and be like,
17. Where's my
Blake's over here advocating for it.
22?
22. You watch what very little color was in his face. Complete, like his hair goes less red. Like in this moment, like it just like all the blood drains him, and he's just like, I'm not gonna say a damn word. I swear on my life.
Good man. Clap him on the shoulder. Keep him pushing. I think we're good, guys. He won't say anything.
Okay.
So what do we do next? What's the plan?
Wagon?
Wagon.
As you all begin to walk away from the mine, you're probably maybe 20 paces away. And then Uranus, you just hear a voice call out from behind where he was. And you just hear, hey, Uranus. And you're the only one who hears this in this moment.
I'm gonna look back, just glance over my shoulder.
You turn back, and Patrick is standing 5 or 6 paces away from the entrance of the mine. Standing up a little taller than he normally does, a little more swagger. His head tilted and a smile on his face, and his eyes gone completely black and dripping. And he just says, I liked what you did there. That was good.
Guys? Are you guys
Hmm?
Do we turn around? What do we see? Do we see?
In whatever moment you turn your head or blink or whatnot, all of a sudden you look there and Patrick is just back at the table, just rocking and kind of looking worried and like his normal self.
What?
Are you
Not
okay?
a practical joke.
I thought he was saying something to me. I don't know. I thought he was saying something to me. Whatever.
Did you fall asleep? Because I have good ears and I didn't hear anything.
No, I don't think I fell asleep. He just said good job. But
Did he?
I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. Let's just keep going. It's fine.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Let's vamoose. Can Peony be perceiving?
You can.
the
Yes. As you all begin your trek walking back from the mines, as you hit, because the mines themselves are maybe a quarter mile outside of the last rows of buildings or houses in the lower level. So you're coming up on the buildings themselves, and at this point, it's probably like 4 a.m. There's just the ever so slightly tint of blue of the sun starting to rise. Like, it's still not really any sunlight, but not quite as pitch black. And Peony, with you looking, and Malachite as well, actually, with both of your passive perceptions, as you're walking into the city, you just catch off to kind of like the left-hand side. There's a person who's up and about at this early hour. There's a shape that's just kind of leaning against a building. Not the most farthest out one, but a little ways in. And it's a bit of a taller figure with broad shoulders and kind of a draped kind of cloak over them. And hard to see in the light, but they seem to have like a little like utility knife out and are like maybe like trimming their nails with it or something. But yeah, they're just kind of looking at that. But then with those passive perceptions, you just catch this little moment where the eyes dart up to all of you and then back down to whatever they're doing.
Can I insight check this person? Is this person a sussy wussy?
Go for it. Roll an insight check on what they're doing.
Cool. I get to
Seems
reroll
pretty.
ones. Halflings, baby!
Roll another one.
Yeet! Nah. Oh, that one's much better. Blah, 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 blah. Total 20.
Total of 20. Okay. You do your own kind of side eye to this person, and with actively looking at them a little bit more, you see a face that is a little more elongated, and you see more of a dragonborn type face. You catch in the little bit of moonlight that there is of reflective blue scales on their face, and they are with a 20 on your insight check. They are very much trying to appear casual. But they definitely clocked you.
Did we fight a blue dragonborn?
You did not, no.
Can Peony discreetly, like, look at everyone and just go, like,
Definitely watching us.
like,
How
whis-
far away are we?
You're probably 30, 40 feet from them right now.
That's arrow range.
If Rokus is making
That's
eye
everything
contact, I think
range.
there's a-
Do we just casually walk down that way? See if he moves. See if they move?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. We're going this way anyways. Peony's gonna start walking down the
Grokus is staring straight at him. As soon as like Peony like says something, Grokus looks straight up at him.
Casual. But
They're
don't
not
you
looking back at you,
talk
Grokus. They are still just trying to appear nonchalant and kind of. And as you get closer, you see like they do have a knife to their fingernails, but they're more like claws, and they're like kind of like filing and shaping the claws down a little bit. As you all walk towards them, they do not move or anything. They just appear to be kind of just staying and put. Yeah.
Okay, we're keeping our peepers on this person. and also the surrounding areas.
Okay. You walk past the building where they're leaned against. They don't say anything. You continue into the alleys.
Should we say something? Should we say something?
What, go back and talk to them?
I don't know. They looked at us funny. And they're trying to not look like they looked at us.
Oh, well, since we are already past them, it would be weird to talk to them now, but someone could circle around and see if they are still there or if they went somewhere.
On top of the building.
I'll crawl on top of a building.
Just gonna crawl up a building?
Yeah. I wanna,
Okay, make an athletics check.
Sick. I want to sneak around and watch this person while the rest of the party keeps.
We'll make an
schmoozing,
athletics
dude.
check first, and then you'll make a stealth check.
Cool. Athletics. That's a 16.
16? Okay, that's enough to get up on a building. Yeah, especially if someone gives you a boost or something like that.
Right, pick me up. I'm short.
I am not the tallest. Somebody taller should boost you.
A booster.
Artemis.
I think Artemis would canonically be the tallest. Unless
Natural
Malachi's
20.
got some time on it.
Hey.
Natural 20 on the stealth. Damn. Okay. You hop up onto the roof and you very, very quietly hop from roof to roof and get around. And as you look over the top of where they were standing, they are no longer there.
Can I see where they?
Make a perception check.
Yoink! Go get back in there. Yep. Stinky. 24.
Jeez. Oh boy.
44.
It is hard to hide from Peony.
What did my halfling eyes see? Everything.
If you use a turn or phrase, it'll hide from her. But like other than that,
Yeah, there you go. You look around and you kind of scan through a little bit and you kind of shift your position on the rooftops. And then you do see this cloaked figure now with the hood up. And so you just see kind of the snout coming out. You see them like basically an alley away, kind of keeping pace with the group and like checking over, like looking to make sure they're still there and they're hidden. But yeah, they're following just kind of from off to the side.
Cool. Could I scribble a note onto a piece of paper, give it to Petal, and have Petal scuttle to the group while I keep following this dude on the roof?
100%. Yes.
Absolutely. Where's the piece of paper? I want to write this out. Yeah, we could use the parking citation envelope. I'm never sending you in the mail. Dearest Piet. Oh,
Make good use of that parking ticket.
Wait, she can't. Oh, no. There's one like
it's gotta be in Dwarvish. Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
Dearest Grokus. That person
She's gonna lose the Dragonborn while she's writing this stupid
Is-
note.
following group watch from roof heart, and then I'll give that to Petal and then follow the
Do you draw heart or do you write heart in Dwarvish?
I write heart in Dwarvish.
Man, the formality of this note just like descended with every line.
Dearest Crocus.
Amazing.
My time in the war has been it's been 62 days since I've seen you last,
my
and my
God.
time on the front of the war has been tiring. Many friends have died of smallpox this day.
All right, so Petal takes this note and scurries down and yes, comes up to the group and you just see the little pink dragon drake kind of with a piece of paper in its mouth.
Hello. Like lean down and take it and just like, oh, adorable. Tell me that's also a parking ticket.
This is an advertisement for a dentist office.
Aww.
Aw.
happily held by your teeth.
So
Yeah.
Bright
Yeah.
Smile, so Bright Smiles Dental Care in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Here's your
Hashtag
plug.
not a sponsor.
Oh, right.
Um,
That's bright apple actually means dearest Grokus in
Mm,
Dwarvish.
Like, take it out of Petal's mouth and hand it to Grokus, assuming that that's the only thing Peony can write in.
So Grokus, you read this note and you know that the person is following you.
Well, we're still being followed by that fellow. Do I know? Can I see? Like, do I know? I want to look around to see if I can spot where he's following us. If I see him, I'm gonna go try to talk to him. If I see him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oh Lord.
Probably not. It's not good. It's okay, no roll high. But so perception, that's going to be a. Okay, well, 13, so not very high.
A 13. They did not roll very high on their stealth when I rolled for that.
Or,
So, you actually, now kind of thinking and looking, you look down an alleyway to your right, and you see just like a shape like pull back out of sight.
I'm walking down the alleyway, walking down.
While Grokus is walking down the alleyway, can I split off and go like around a building to get behind the
Yes, you
person?
can.
The
Yep.
dragonborn?
Petey's just watching from the roof, like.
Malachi, Artemis, one of you want to go with him and one come with me?
I'm going with Grokus.
I'll go
Okay.
with Pry. Yeah.
Okay, so then if Aranis went around to be like behind the Dragonborn, I'll scoot like a building or two ahead and
Okay. So kind of pinching from both sides, and then Grokus and Artemis are coming down the middle.
because I'm assuming that that's what this person was trying to do to us. Yeah.
Okay. You all kind of head that direction, and Peony, you from the rooftop watch as they kind of check their sight lines again, and then realize that Grokus and Artemis is walking towards them, and you see them just like kind of whip their head to the left and to the right, and then reach up and pull a bow from behind, and just kind of like knock an arrow. And then, as soon as they knock the arrow, you see the shoulders relax, and they put the bow away.
What the fuck? Ew! Did there
And then they sit down on a barrel in the alleyway.
Did their demeanor change at all? Did it look like they were doing this and then suddenly it just was like
It was like a beat. It's like they instinctively went into combat mode and then took a moment and then changed their mind.
relaxed? Okay.
Yeah.
Like a change their mind, not a someone controlled their mind and that made them sit over there.
Impossible to tell from this distance, and you don't see anybody else, so not sure, but yeah.
I'm just gonna sit on the roof, like directly above them, just stealthily.
Okay.
Would Petal come crawling back to me after?
Yes, she would
the
return to you
we're
after
just,
finishing
we're
her
just the
mission.
two of us, just like she's like kicking her feet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bow in hand, like
I'm ready to kill you at a moment's notice.
Tee if you try and pull that bow on my friends, my BFFs, I'll kill you. Or just horribly maybe you.
Are all the buildings around here like houses, businesses, some of both?
There are no businesses really in this part. This is the outskirts. This is honestly the really, really disadvantaged portion of town. This is shacks at best in this area.
While we're walking, I'm gonna make a eldritch cannon,
Okay.
the small like handheld size.
Yeah.
Tiny size.
I just
guess.
imagine those little office like turret guns that like shoot the tiny little Nerf balls. You know what I mean? That you just have like in your hand. Like
Malachi makes one and puts it away. It's like, never mind. It's like-
Yeah.
as you all kind of get in position, Grokus and Artemis, you come around the corner and turn and see as they pull their hood back and drop it, a female blue dragonborn. Incredibly tall, even though they're sitting right now, probably pushing, 6'8" or more.
I'm a dwarf, everyone's tall.
And wearing a cloak, but wearing like a sleeveless shirt and simple pants that let their kind of more clawed feet come out. But then these very toned, muscular arms. And she's got, this bow that is slung along her back and a quiver of arrows on the side and a dagger on the other side. But she's sitting with her hands like on her lap, like palms down, very non-confrontational. And
Good
as
morning.
you all-
Is there a problem?
Is there a particular reason you're following us?
well, there is particular reason I'm following, but no problem per se. I would say personally.
Why are you following us?
Well, you see, your group of friends have made a bit of a splash by disappearing into mines. Lots of folks interested in what you were doing, where you're going.
I don't think that's anybody else's concern but ours.
Be that as it may, I put my curiosities to work and waited for you all. I'm curious, what are you doing here in Fluross, and what is your business in the Dwarven mines?
Can I insight check this?
You are very far away. You're probably not really hearing this.
Oh wow, I'm that high up. Wait, I can see their lips moving. If I can see their lips moving, I can understand their conversation.
In that case, yes, even a couple buildings away, you do see this, so you can roll an insight check.
And I have a 17 passive insight too, so
That
Okay.
is
That is a high passive insight, yes. So we'll get to that in a second. Peony, what'd you roll?
8 total.
Okay. Without hearing the tone inflections, even though you know the words being said, you're not able to pick up on so much of the reasoning behind them. For you, Grokus, just listening to this, there's a very controlled, very self-assured manner in which she is, like, her body language, everything speaks of, I could fight you, I'm choosing not to. And she seems to be telling the truth.
I mean, is it not all why I would want to visit down there? I mean, I think that's clearly obvious. I mean, as a dwarf, of course I'm interested in the mines. But
It's
my friends
very-
on too. Is that really that shocking?
It's very peculiar to see a full-blooded dwarf here in Thros. Most of you are
Yeah, I know.
extinct by now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. So is it really that? Do you find it that strange that a dwarf might want to go to a dwarf mine? Is that
Nothing
really
of
that?
itself. I find it strange that you speak of going in for an hour, disappear for the entire day, reappear at 3 in the morning.
It's not the smallest mine. I'm sorry that we're kind of slow. I do apologize that I'm not as young as I used to be. So it's a
And
pretty
she
big
kind
mine.
of puts her hands up and kind of like, almost like, not doing anything crazy, and then slowly stands up and turns to face you all. And just kind of places her hands in front of her, clasps them in front, and just kind of takes a very non-confrontational stance. Pry, Malachite, and Aranis, you all have come around at this point. You're at a distance. You can close in if you want, but you see Artemis and Grokus in conversation with this blue dragonborn.
We didn't hear any of that.
No, you would not.
Oh, okay.
Malachite, you also have that same feat with being able to read lips. I would say you maybe caught some of the end of the conversation as you came around, but again, you're not hearing, so you're not picking up like tone or anything like that.
Yep.
I think I would just keep walking, but like casually, not with any sort of speed. Just
She just kind of, a little smile comes across her face. She's like, I see your friends are coming in from either side. Good tactical move. I would have advised the same had I been in your shoes.
They know so much. Who's following us so much about us? I mean, who cares if people go in the mine? I'm sure more people go in the mine. So who cares up to for that information?
Well, unfortunately for you, many people care who perhaps are less upstanding with their morals and reasons. It is not necessarily my job to figure out such things, but like I said, curiosity got the better of me.
What
Or
is your
the
job?
coin got the better of you?
Trust me, there's very little coin in Realm Shield. All things considered, you would expect there to be more considering the dangers that we undertake, but it does not pay as well as you would imagine.
Do we know what the realm shield is? Did they say the realm shield do?
They're
Dude.
monster hunters.
The
Okay,
Realm
you
Shield
would
is the
know.
Monster
Oh.
Hunters Guild, and you actually
Yeah.
passed their
Oh.
guild hall
Did I
as
see
you were
the
coming to
sign?
Illinois. You did, yep.
When I remember just reading all the signs, like,
Yep.
and that's a blah blah blah. Okay.
Are we close enough to be able to hear her now?
Yes, I would say so. And she's not moving. She's very much like, you all do what you need to do to feel safe. Like, I'm just
Mhm.
going to stand here.
You think we're monsters? Oh, sorry. Go. You're
Oh,
good.
no, that was what I was going to ask too.
Well, to be frank, people tend to be the worst monsters of all, but that is getting a little more esoteric with it. We are contracted to kill, as I like to call them, great beasties. As I said, it is not my job to be snooping into the doings of the folk of the town. But when you have not been sent on patrol for a couple weeks, you get a little antsy. And when we heard the folks going missing in the mines, well, perhaps there are monsters down there.
I appreciate. What was your name again? I mean, Grogus, and I appreciate what you guys do. I mean, definitely help keeping balance by taking care of while just keeping people safe. So, I do appreciate that. But
Rokus, it is very nice to meet you. My name is Aja Nok.
I should knock.
Where did you get your information from, Naja?
Aja, like the color.
Aja.
Like
Excuse
the
me.
color. I got my information from what everybody in town knows, that some folks went in and disappeared.
Okay.
I can
Fair
tell you,
enough.
I swear to enter that we're no monsters. We're not any monsters. We're not.
I don't
As you
believe that
said,
you are monsters. I am curious what someone may have found down there.
I don't know.
If you're a monster hunter, why are you worried about that? Mine should have nothing to do with you, should it?
Mine, no. The creatures that might be down there that are disturbed and brought up here into the town, very much so.
Didn't one of you collect a tooth? The monsters are dead now.
There were monsters. Interesting.
Doesn't somebody have a tooth?
I do.
May I see?
What's in it for me? Do you know anything about Alexio?
Why would you say
If
that?
information is so important.
What business do you have with that man?
Well, that has nothing to do with anything. We're just doing information for information, right? I show you mine, you show me yours.
That is very fair. I will make you a deal. If you tell me what you are doing here and what you have caught yourself up into with this Alexio person, I will tell you what I know about the mines and about what people are asking about this group of travelers that went into it.
I think I tell you what we found down there, what monsters specifically we found down there, because that's your realm of expertise, and then you tell us what you know about Alexio. I
Make a
think that's
persuasion
fair.
check, if you would.
Can I give advantage? Can I help? Can I help out?
What do you say to help?
So I'll just say, please. We're, like I said, we're not the monsters. I think we're on the same kind of side. Like, we want to make sure people are protected because monsters shouldn't be allowed to disrupt the balance.
I agree.
That's a
You can roll with
as you can
advantage.
see, I should kind of point because of my new awesome necklace of NR.
17. I'm rolling really low.
That's with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of looks you up and down and goes, shrugs. Very well. Show me the
Ladies
tooth
first.
first, though.
Fair. I pull out the tooth.
She takes it. And you see kind of like she had been very stiff, very kind of like, I'm not making any sudden movements. And like her shoulders relax a little bit. She actually kind of rolls them and actually takes the cloak and kind of throws it off of one bare shoulder and then takes the tooth and begins to like examine it. Like she kind of goes into her mode and is looking up and down. She pulls out her utility knife and kind of gives it a twirl and like chips at it just a little bit, just taking a small piece and takes it and puts it into her mouth.
You know what that is?
This aberration.
Oh,
It's not of this world. It's not of this plane. It came from somewhere else. I don't know exactly what creature this tooth came from. I need to see the whole creature or get a good description of it. But that's not of this kingdom.
Tentacles. And a big mouse.
Get,
very big mouth.
get the information from
Were
her
the eyes
first
were the
before
eyes
we
on the
cover
head or on the
everything.
tentacles?
You don't know want to know what this was?
I want to know what it is, but after we know what we need to know, she can just walk away.
You must have very little honor if you expect people to behave in such a manner. She hands her tooth back to you.
Guys, this lady's from Realm Shield, okay?
Mhm.
She's cool.
I get a good vibe.
I just
get a
want
good-
to say, I
don't
mean,
know anything about
huge
that.
fan. I mean, growing up, me and my friends used to pretend to be Realm Shield. So, yeah, that's all. But yeah,
It's very nice to meet you. My name is Azure. She
Malachi.
extends a hand out and shakes it.
can you sign this this thing here?
Maybe after we have concluded our business,
Okay,
young
yeah,
man.
sorry. No,
Yes.
continue.
Can if we're seeing if Peony's seeing all this like friendly exchange, can she like infer like, oh, she can read the lips? Can she see like,
Yeah.
oh, like this is like,
Oh,
she's
yeah, you
gonna
can
like?
totally tell that this has gotten like the tension is released. Yeah.
Can I drop down from the roof on
Uh-huh.
the roof and be like, hi? I'm
She looks
Peony."
up. She's not startled at all. She goes, "Oh, hello, little one." Reaches a hand up and shakes it.
Well, wait, up, down. Am I up or down?
You're
Oh,
above her.
wait, I
Yeah.
can dangle down. I can dangle down from the roof. Yes, like hooking the feet into the gutters to like hang down and be like,
You should clean them while you're up there.
I did not get the rest of your names, unfortunately. I know Grokus and Malachite and what are the rest of you called, if I may ask?
Artemis.
Try.
Right?
Uranus.
All right. Very nice to meet you all. New little one, what is your name?
I'm Peony, and this is Petal. And then Petal will just like,
Oh, a lovely pair. Like the flower.
yeah.
So Realm Shield is good guys. They
Mhm.
seem to trust you.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. We kill monsters for coin, sometimes at a steep price, but that is our business.
And there is a story about them helping with and Pride just sort of like points to the sky overhead.
Yeah, the sky that's all cracked,
Yeah.
like a pane of glass, and Azure just goes, yes, those folks, they've not been heard from some time, but they did their duty, and little is asked of them now. Here in Fluross, I run the chapter. There are 4 of us, sometimes more, depending on the need, but yes.
So you handle monsters. Do you handle people who bring in dangerous monsters that shouldn't be in the town?
Not specifically, but if we, it's not happened in the past, let me say. Should it happen in the future? Who knows? Depends on if the higher-ups, the mayor and whatnot, sanctioned it, but as it is, without a incursion happening at the moment, we have little to do but sit around and, as I said, be curious.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. 3 big beasties down in the mine. Like she said, and I'm gonna nod to Pry. Big with tentacles, eyes on their tentacles, big mouth.
Eyes on the tentacles. Otiugs.
Otiuks. Yeah. So there's 3 of them down there, and we think that this Alexio guy might have been involved in putting them down there.
Yeah,
So we're trying to
surprise
do the
me.
city a service and solve that problem. So any info you have would be very useful.
We should get off
It's all
the
out in the
streets. We should get off the streets. People are going to begin waking up
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Do you have a place, or would you rather come back to my guildhall?
We are no home, and while I like sleeping in trees, I don't think other people do.
No, thank you.
There's a church we can go to. Usually they're kind of empty at this time of day. If
Church is on the other side of town.
too far.
One of our
We'll go where
older-
you take us. I'm sure you have a safe place.
We have the guild hall just a little bit down that direction.
Okay.
And she kind of shoulders her cloak back up and flips the hood up, so she's a little more concealed. And she kind of looks at you all and gives a little smile and a wink, and she's like, "Follow me," and then begins to not run, but walk briskly. And she's tall and she's got a long stride, so especially the smaller of you are needing to kind of double time it in order to keep up.
What's that supposed to mean?
Distance, speed, it means math. But she brings you to that same kind of it's not like a Viking hall style building per se, but it is long and very simply made, and there are kind of doors along the sides and a door at the very front, and then that sign the top that says Realm Shield. And she kind of stops in front of the door and looks back and goes, "You might want to keep your voices low. Last night there was a lot of drinking, a lot of carrying on, and everyone is a little..." And she then opens the door and goes inside.
I don't know what that means.
Just be nice. Gentle.
Just on the quieter side, that's all. Just a little, You think before we go inside, and like, you think they know anything about the vampires? Do you think they?
Oh.
I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, I know still too.
Last time I had history information on like vampirism events in the in Alsan. Have Realm Shield been involved with those before?
Thinking back to the accounts, I would probably say that there would have been a mention of like kind of the three big parties who get dispatched to deal with things are Realm Shield, the Paladins of the Saints Preserve, and the Knights of Excessa. And so those names would have come up in, such and such was sent to, eradicate the evil and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, the Realm Shield has dealt with vampires in the past, but this is very, very past, so I don't know. I probably would not lead with it.
I don't know. I figured it wouldn't be very wise to. No, I know.
Yeah.
Just for later on. Thank you, though, for that information. I appreciate it.
Malachite, have you ever been in their guild hall before?
No.
This is exciting for you.
Uh-huh.
It's just like in the comic books.
You should go in first, lad. This is
so
this your
bad. I
time.
love it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. So Malachite, as you step in, there's certainly a level of your excitement and your fandom that is putting a veneer over the reality of this situation. It is a dark, not unclean, but just kind of dim, smelly, kind of space that, it's a bunch of rangers who sit around and drink and don't really clean up after themselves too much, but make their home here. And you see some torches that are lit, kind of very farly spaced apart, so it creates this kind of dim atmosphere. And it is kind of like a long central hall with all these rooms that split off of it. The hall itself, like the main corridor down, seems to be divided almost in like sections as you go. So as you first come in, there are actually a lot of weapons on the walls and whatnot. There are stands with spears and swords and shields on the wall and whatnot, and almost like an armory as soon as you walk in. Some leather armor and whatnot as well. And then the next thing you see is almost like a training ground, where it's kind of like, sand on the floor and mannequins that are set up like kind of those like burlap bag mannequins for training purposes. And then past that, you look and see a kind of, there's tables and an eating area, and you see a stove and a kitchen kind of off. Azure has already walked almost all the way back to the kitchen area and the dining area. And you see some simple art on the walls. Most of it is either a crude painting of a sword or sometimes some monsters or whatnot. But there seems to be some sort of almost portrait or whatnot that's all the way down and kind of on the wall all the way in the kitchen area, but hard to see from this distance. You just see kind of like a shape of a person.
Are there artists' marks on these paintings?
You take a close look, and no, these are very crude, very just kind of slapped together. Nothing really matches in terms of medium or whatnot. It probably, anyone with any mote of artistic talent just does these and throws them up to have something on the wall.
Well, this does not dampen his excitement at all because this is exactly what he pictured. So
it's very rough and tumble, which fits with the vibe for sure.
Yep.
So you all... Oh, go ahead, Peony.
Has Peony ever seen or heard of...
You would have heard, all of you would have heard of Realm Shield. I mean, when we think of the top kind of organizations in the kingdom, they're not at the top of those top, but they are one of the more well-known, especially, as Pry alluded to, after the breaking of the sky and the rumors that spread that, some rangers from Realm Shield were part of the salute of stopping the evil wizards from continuing their dark magic. So you all continue deeper in, and Azure is pouring some liquid into various mugs, none of them match, and sliding them out onto a table. As you get in deeper, you see a passed out human who is in the training ground, kind of with one arm slumped up over one of the mannequins and then hanging just from there. And then they're
having a hangover moment.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the dining room specifically, there are two others who are slumped and passed out, a halfling and a tiefling, and then another half-elfin man who is sitting up and awake, but just kind of with his hands to his temples and just groaning
Well, what does it smell like in here?
Booze. It smells like mead and maybe a little vomit. Yeah. It's
super professional.
Yep, they had a party the night before. So yeah, that half-elf is just kind of he doesn't even acknowledge you all. He just groans and holds his temple as you all come in, and Azure slides a drink in front of him and goes, She's like, it's going to help you. It's going to help you feel better. You need to drink it. And then kind of motions to all of you to sit down.
Sit.
Does anyone want food?
So, nice place you got here, but
It's a shithole.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
You want to ask the questions, Malachite, so you can talk to her?
I don't know. I don't even know what we're asking. I mean, I have a lot of questions, but I don't think they're what we need to know. So,
info on Alexio.
Of course.
Just, location, defenses, anything you might know.
Well,
and why do you know about him?
Well, everyone who keeps their ear to the ground knows about the three blades. Again, it's not the monsters that I'm paid to hunt, but they are monsters nonetheless. Robat and his crew, he breaks the city up into different quadrants, if you will, or really it's kind of more of the tiers of the city. So Gormer is this woman who's in charge of the lower levels, at least the southern side of the lower levels. There's another person whose name I don't know who's in charge of the northern part of the lower levels. And then in the middle, there is Tassar for the middle level. And then at the higher level...
Baker?
He runs a bakery as a front, yes.
Oh, that means that she lied to us.
Peony screeching.
And the half elf is like, shut up!
She lied to us. So loud. She lied to us.
Who lied to you?
The friend we met when we first... Yes, she was like, I was on an errand for Tesser, and then I screwed with them beating someone up, and then I got coerced into the three blades. But if she was working for Tesser and running an errand, What does
Well,
you say
Tassar employs many people who are not a part of the Three Blades. He has a
Right,
front.
but-
So maybe that was like, oh, I see this person who could be good. I'm just going to whoosh, get them manipulated into the thing without
It
ever
makes
knowing.
their story suspect, yes.
And then, anyway, at the top level, other than Brobrats himself, is Elixio. He runs things at the the place where all the money is, and he's got the taste for it. That's for sure.
That is also weird. The people.
Do you know who owns the mines?
Mm-hmm.
The mines are technically owned by the city. It's on city property, and then contracts were put out, as I understand it, for who would have gotten the opportunity to delve them. But anything owned by the city, the Three Blades probably has their fingers in.
Mm-hmm.
But Elixio, you want to know about, he lives in a house on the top shelf, and he likes fine things. At least that's what they gather from the few times I've seen him. Pretty clothes,
Do you know what the house looks like?
Been by it once. Looks like many of the other houses. It's not the biggest one, but it has brown shingles. And
Is he part of society or aspiring to be part of society?
that gets a little bit beyond my knowledge, unfortunately.
You know where Brobat lives?
No one knows where Brobat is stationed.
Okay.
No one's ever seen it and spoken of it, at least.
Is Elixio his first name or his surname?
It's the only name I've ever heard. So whether it's a first, last, or only. Never liked him. Even as criminals go, he's an arrogant cuss. Walks around waving his hand about, making people do things for him. Simple things. Things that any man should be able to do.
What is the biggest monster you've ever killed?
She kind of cocks her head and gives you a little smile, and then she leans in real close and gets all intense and is like, the biggest creature they ever killed was a dragon. Kid you not, I do not lie. Aja never likes.
Petals, ear holes.
That was a black dragon that had, not unironically, made his home in the wyvern's spine. And a half dozen of us were sent there in order to, shall we say, politely ask him to make his home elsewhere. And he refused, and battle commenced, and unfortunately, because I never tell a lie, I cannot take credit for dealing the killing blow. But it was quite a fight.
Did Peony ever hear about a dragon hunt happening? That's not
Roll
far
a history
from
check.
Yeah, that's not far from where she lives.
It's south a ways, but not too far.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20? You don't know the details, but there had been rumors of a dragon that had made its home and then disappeared at some point. Dragons are incredibly rare, but they're not completely unheard of.
So that was you. That's really cool. I heard about that. My auntie's brother-in-law's second cousin's friend told us about it.
All right. Takes a drink. So,
do you
there's
know
the
anybody
information.
who would know info about Elixio? Anybody we could talk to?
Probably people in high society. If you go up there and ask around, I'm sure he has to frequent a shop, or his people do at some point. Go up, start talking to merchants, ask around, ask them who knows what. Maybe you'll find something.
Good enough for me.
I keep my eyes open, my ears open, but that is not my crowd. As you can see from looking around here.
Well, as Arana said, those things, the Otyuks, were either already down there or Elixio had an end in putting them down there. And they were being intentionally kept, like fed. And we think maybe also chained up so that they had to stay in one spot.
Not a recipe for success. What little knowledge I have of Otyugs is they are voracious creatures who eat anything and everything in sight and would probably resort to eating each other if need be.
So how would one capture and transport them? Or since they are aberrations, are they something that someone could create in place?
They could be summoned, perhaps. And as you know from growing up in this kingdom, things come through every once in a while. Perhaps they were opportunistic. I don't know. I do know that next time you face one, go for that tentacle with the eyes. Take that out, it'll be severely wounded, hard to keep its bearings, much easier to kill. That's what we always started with.
Brian made pretty easy work of it, so
Oh, I
Think of
did
it as a-
nothing.
Bit of a monster
I
hunter
did-
yourself, are you?
No. They had it up in the air and hurt it a bunch, and then I just poked it
Had it up in the air.
when it fell down. Yes, it was in a vertical tunnel, and they made it float and hurt it a bunch, and then when it hits the ground, I stabbed it once.
I
But the
made
way-
spiky grass and it hurt the thing. Kind of turned one into like ground meat.
Pride, but that was excellent swordsmanship, Pride. So don't discredit that. That was excellent. The way one swift blade, yeah, it was.
Sounds impressive.
It
You
was
ever
good.
want to hone your skills a little more, you should come see me. Can do a little fencing.
I mean, it would be weird to train with someone else, but I guess.
Only way to do it. And she kind of like shows off one of her bare arms that's got like all these little nicks and cut scars on it.
Jeez.
And she's
Oh,
just
no.
like, it's no better teacher than a little bit of blood.
Well, that is some information, friends. What do we want to do with it? I do not know that means we could fix everything in a week.
I think we just do like she says and go up to the top shelf and ask around.
What's your
boy.
intention? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to talk
Um,
to him, to strike a deal?
do we tell her everything?
Trying to fix the balance is all we're trying to do. Sometimes, as a public hunter, there's things that, clear in this town that are, let's just say, not balanced. So we're just trying to help with that.
I'm horrible with riddles. I don't understand a thing that this dwarf says.
We're trying to take him out to protect some other people.
Uh-huh. And it sounds like maybe not just those people would be protected if he was not around anymore. Although, I don't know, this thing has so many heads, perhaps he will just be replaced.
Well, you're not wrong there that the Three Blades has a lot of different faces. But apart from Brobat himself, Lizio would be a blow.
So do we go ask around up there?
But wouldn't that bring us? Word will travel if we do. So I imagine maybe we can, but I feel like if we get back to him before, then whatever
Yeah,
information we get
anyways-
would be too late.
Do you have any ways to disguise yourselves?
Some of us do. Would you be up to around us? Would you be definitely not safe?
Disguise myself. Nobody else, but
You are saying that taking him out would hurt the organization, and it sounds like it would also help people, yes? since you agree that sometimes people are the worst monsters, I don't suppose you would be able to tell us if if there are blades within the city guard, or like how how hard is a cold-blooded murder to pull off?
Murder is murder. It is always going to have consequences, no matter how right it is.
Of course, but are
And
there...
as far as the law goes, I don't know. I would not be surprised if the Three Blades had their fingers there as well. I would honestly be surprised if they didn't, but I can't tell you exactly who. I must stress, like, even though I come across as this connected person who, does good for the city, we are one step away from being outcasts ourselves. Honestly, had it not been for Sikia and Hyde and Gamorg, the heroes from 3 decades ago, I don't think that we would be allowed station in the city. We lean on those names often.
Well, thank you for the information that you've given us.
I'd say ask around. I don't see any other options.
Perhaps not just ask around though, because that would look odd, right? Like if he is,
Well, maybe they could look for a connection, like she was saying. Maybe they can disguise themselves. I think Malachite said you can disguise yourself as well. Maybe they can be looking for start something, maybe a connection like that. So
right, because that sort of society is built on lots of complex relationships. So perhaps if we could cultivate some allies and insert ourselves into that society in the same way it seems Elixir has, then we would have a better likelihood of running into him.
but how long would that take? I mean, I feel like well-versed in that kind of, how long would that?
Kind of depends. This is maybe a strategy meeting for another place and time. We do not want to take up any more of...
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't care. No one here is... She looks around at all the passed out people and she's like, you're not bothering anyone. Except maybe Tamir over there. Hey, Tamir. And the elf, half-elf is like, oh, God, stop it. And, like, gets up and, like, walks to another room, like, very shakily.
Oh
no.
no.
Be well, child. I can't selling word.
Aw.
Kind of looks around to you and goes, thank you. Are you a cleric?
Yeah, follow Venar. Just gave you a little bit of Ender's blessing, so thank you for what you do for keeping balance with the monsters. So
I'll light a candle at the
Appreciate it.
shrine for you tomorrow morning. Appreciate it. Heads over and disappears into another room, and you just hear this whoof, whoof, as he passes out into a bed. Azure just chuckles. He's
People-
like, he's an idiot, but I love him to death. They're all idiots.
Would you mind a few more questions about the city? We have been here for a grand total of like 4 days.
I'm going to need something to drink. You all ask of a lot of questions, but sure. She gets up and kind of
Pride.
begins refilling.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Pry was going to dig in her bag and see if there was another bottle of wine. I don't know if there is anymore.
Oh, yeah, you probably would still have some. You bought several bottles that
Okay,
day.
yeah. That's true. Okay, I'll pull one out and put it on the table and be like, to pay for your time?
This is very fine wine.
I mean, the rest is not worth drinking. So,
I won't ask twice. And she takes her claw and like shing the top, and then like
oh, nice.
toss the cork with the claw itself. Just flicks it off to the side and doesn't actually pour it around. Just starts swigging from the bottle.
You said you are not a society person yourself, but you seem like you know a lot about the city. So, what could you tell us about the upper shelf and the people who live there?
They're entitled bastards, every last one.
Uh-huh.
Stuck up,
Uh-huh.
selfish.
Uh-huh.
Don't have very high opinion of them.
Understandable. Any names of families? Important people?
The Beckett family is
Uh-huh.
currently the mayor.
Uh-huh.
Other
Oops.
than that, I don't know a ton.
Okay.
I don't spend time up there. I keep my ear to the ground around things that might eventually affect the people down here. It's not my job to go around and help people in the city, but again, when there's nothing else to do, you can either sit on your ass and get drunk every night, or you can try to do a little bit of good.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm praying to the gods for another dragon or something. I need to get out of here.
I mean, better to pray for balance, but I mean, I get it.
Balance is a knife in one hand and a sword in the other for me.
Uh-huh. You also use the main gauche?
So sorry, but I don't understand half of the words coming out of your mouth with that accent. I did not catch what that was. I'm gonna hide now.
Yeah.
I truly didn't understand what you just said, Cheryl.
Oh. I asked if she also used the main gauche, but
Gotcha. That's a French term.
yes, it is.
So she just looks and
that
goes,
seems like- The
That's the
side
name for
stabby
the-
sword?
Yes, that's the name for the dagger in your offhand.
Yes,
Is-
yes.
It's the French
term.
Yes.
And Grogu's so confused as well.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
The dagger in the offhand.
Oh, yes, knife in one hand, sword in the other when I'm not using a bow.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Well, that is a lot
We
of
could go do some
information.
sparring right now.
No, I'm okay. She's probably still in her like blouse and dress from when we tried to get into the mine in the first
Yeah.
place. So, like,
And she actually, like, at that point, like, all of a sudden her attention just whoosh, and like she like slams her elbows up on the table and like leans in, kind of takes another swig of the bottle and looks right at you, Artemis, and is like, I don't believe you said a single word since we got here, so what's your deal?
I don't have a deal. What's your
Oh.
deal?
Killing things.
Seems like a pretty good deal. Why are you staring?
Don't figure out. I don't see weapons on you. What do you do?
She'll cast a small like fireball in her hand and then
Ah.
extinguish it.
Handy to have around in a fight.
Saved me plenty of times, especially on the road.
Very handy.
She like hands the bottle towards you.
Takes it. Takes a swig.
I like this one.
Artemis, it's early.
Crocus. 4 a.m.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Can we see your sword?
Whoa, Malachi!
That was
Whoa!
very forward.
I'm sorry, I just can't. I had no comeback to that.
You just don't be rushing into the situation.
Wow.
Sorry, that was sort of off the top.
stop.
of my
God.
head.
are you allowed to switch pun like bases partway through? Is that
The pun is as
It's a living, breathing
You
thing.
need to sheathe
Nope,
these
Yeah.
right
nope.
now. You gotta sheathe these
I
right
won't.
now.
I won't let this drag on for too long.
Just sheathe these, okay?
She reaches behind her and pulls out this short sword that can kind of fit into a sheath along her back.
Hey,
Underneath
size
her
doesn't
bow.
mean everything.
And kind of does another flip with it and then like stabs it into the table next to you. And she's like, take a look. And it
Oh.
is a pretty standard looking short sword. It's very nicked up. It's seen a lot of use. The interesting thing is that the handle is wrapped in a black scaled leather.
Is that from the dragon?
That's from the dragon.
Black dragon.
Can I touch it?
Be my guess.
I'm just gonna like pull it out of the table because I guess she stuck it into the
Yeah,
table.
make a strength check.
Oh no.
Oh my, go really well.
Oh no. If you pull it out, you'll be the king of England.
You will be, yes.
Allison.
All right, here we go. Natural 1 coming up.
Natural
Oh,
20,
boy.
not 20. Not 20 coming right here.
Oh, it's a 17, which I think my strength is 0, so it's a 17.
Okay, so yeah, so you kind of and wedge it out and are holding this sword.
And I look like I've never held a sword before.
Oh boy.
Um,
How was the balance?
so good.
So good.
So good.
And I just carefully hand it back. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm. And she disappears behind her.
Are you good at shooting bows?
I'm the best at shooting bows. Why? Are you good at shooting bows, little one?
How do you feel
Hey,
about
want you shoot bows? Want you shoot bows? I see.
Maybe in a little bit.
how do you feel about being collected as a new friend?
I think that you all want me to get involved in something that I have no interest in sticking my claws into.
Oh no, it just means that Peony collects friends.
She does.
I'm fine with having a
I collect
friend.
gears, but she just pull out like a big
You
cog
can-
from her bag.
You can collect more than one thing.
I can't put you in this bag. You'll die.
No,
Well,
I
you
do
would
not
want
want to
try.
be
No.
But we can. But we're in the heart, anyways. I mean, we more so in the heart. So
Oh,
someday you always can carry with you.
Oh,
Heart of
so
holding.
sweet. The heart of holding. Oh.
my dad collected a lot of cholesterol.
That's another thing.
Yes.
And I can relate.
What is happening?
You all are a very strange group of people, I must say, and I've seen a lot of different things in my time.
Right. And we would love to get out of your hair. So
Yes,
what are we doing, guys?
Ooh.
What if we just
Right.
bring it to us?
Oh,
Probably, I think if you would go up with, if we can disguise, you can go up with maybe Uranus or with Malachite, because you seem the most well versed in this nature. So if anyone does go up, I would feel, and I would make sure to sing with Ender's blessing and do whatever I can from afar. But I think it'd be
well, let us start by finding Malachite's property and then maybe get a room somewhere where we can plan, because this is not a thing that you just wander into, I don't think.
And before that, if we have time, probably could you take me to? I'm looking for a particular item. I think you could help me find it. Maybe if we have some time, and it might help us later on too. So if
Oh,
we get a moment, if you can help me later on, I'd
Of course.
appreciate it.
yes.
What is it that you're
Worst
looking
case
for?
scenario, we can always ambush the guys at the mine. That'll give us direct info on Alexio.
But even still, I mean, I feel like these underlings that might not. I don't think he's going to send like his. I don't know. I feel like people like that might have more than just.
At the very least, they'll know where we can find him. Or at the very least, they'll know who's next up in the chain of command that we can find to talk to.
True.
Well, and
Well-
if they don't report back, then you will probably find us. So,
That too.
True. So,
So
well,
I'm down to
thank
do
you.
whatever.
thank you for giving us help and information. This has been very interesting.
Feel like I gave you a lot more information than I got.
I mean, what else is there to say about the creatures?
Told you exactly what's down there.
Appreciate that.
Gave you a tooth.
I wonder
That
if
was the
maybe
terms
you
of the
would
deal.
keep in touch. I might have a job for you at some point.
Sure.
You're as capable as you seem to be.
I hope so.
You keep in touch too if you ever want to just discuss balance or things or any kind of thing. Even just pray. I mean, if you're not
That's
minded
more of
particularly religious,
Tamir's
so
realm. He keeps that shrine across town nice and tidy, but appreciate the gesture.
All right. Ronis gets up and walks out.
Okay.
Let's
Probably
go.
about 5 to 5:30 in the morning at this point.
Where do you think they would impound a wagon and horses?
Nearest tavern to the mine? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where's the nearest tavern?
But do we want to actually? I mean, if people are looking for us, I mean, if she found us that way, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're tracking to see when we go after that. I mean, they know we went in that, so if we get it, does that make maybe not? I don't know. I think so.
I mean, it's Malachite's wagon, so how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be great to get it back, but I don't know that it's pressing.
you guys are just so many threads. I mean.
I think we should go somewhere and rest for a little while. There is a lot on everyone's mind. We could probably use a sit. We have been going all night, so.
That brings up the same thing that Grokus was just saying, though. We check in anywhere, everybody's going to know that we're checking in. We can just go back to the safe house.
Do you want to grab one of the rooms here in the hall for a night or two? I have no problem with it.
Wait.
Thank you,
really?
so.
That works too.
Don't bring trouble to my door, but as long as you don't,
Yeah,
Empty
we could do our
rooms.
shoot off sometime. Soon?
if we can.
I don't know if we can promise no trouble, but we can probably also provide help and other compensation. So
Well, if the bell rings
Oh,
sometime in the next few days,
is
I'll
anyone
include you.
hurting? Is anyone hurting? I can.
Look
I'll
around you.
go-
Everyone
yeah.
here is hurting. Good lord.
I'm gonna use since I figure we're gonna stay here, I'm gonna use healing word on anyone who looks like especially kind of sick or not feeling well.
Just an FYI, you did sleep and then wake up at 3 a.m., so you're not going to get, like, if you're planning on doing anything during the day, you're not going to get a long rest until later tonight. So just an FYI there.
Okay, well, I guess what's the? I guess I'll wait to see what we're planning on doing then. So I'll keep it in the back burner until we decide what we're gonna do. Already burned a lot anyway, so that's what Brooks would do though. So it's
Staying here.
yes.
Staying here.
that is incredibly generous. Thank you.
I'm sure the good karma will come around towards me at
If
some
you're
point.
talking, we can't hear you.
My mic keeps doing this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, I'm sure the good deed will come around at some point.
Well,
All right. So you all kind of set up in one of the side rooms. A couple of them actually are available for you. There's a lot of kind of empty, unused rooms in the guild hall. It looks to be a place where at one point there were a lot more of the Realm Shield here. And just over time, the numbers have dwindled for one reason or another. But nevertheless, you find a couple of rooms and are able to stash your things or whatnot, make beds for the next time you were to take a rest. You know, the sun is starting to come up. You're starting to hear boats, undocking and fishermen going out and whatnot. So the day is ahead of you. What would you like to do?
I was gonna go say get more baked goods, but apparently that bitch works for a crime lord, so
Yeah.
I guess not.
You don't want to give him a excuse to launder more money or whatever.
Yeah.
That's such a disappointment.
Was
The only thing that should
Malachi-
make criminals how criminally low his baked goods were.
Was Malkin and Ron done with the diamond? Have we gotten a diamond by any chance yet? Or
I still have it.
because I would like to, if Private Show me needs to purchase something. What was it? I need to get a glass eye. I'm not sure if the diamond needs to be put into it somehow, but I would like to. If you know where I would be able to find one of those, that'd be
A glass eye?
yes.
If you're looking for components or magical items, the two places that I would recommend would either be High Tide Tonics on the second shelf, or oh gods, I hate recommending anyone go here, but it is where you can find everything. Wind Mars up on the top shelf.
Have to go to the top shelf anyway if we wanted to ask about Lucio.
Should we be up there before we have a plan, though? Or disguises?
And my thing can wait like this, so this can it'll be helpful, but it can
no.
wait. It's no.
Why don't we try the High Tide Tonics on the second shelf?
If we have time to. I mean, I know we have pressing matters, so I don't want to waste any. But so
what
like I said,
else?
so,
What are these things for?
I don't know. I just deep in prayer, and it kind of came to me with almost like it's almost like visions of sorts. It's not really as Artemis cast spells, more like feelings and just visions of things, and just one kind of with a glass eye of some sort, like with like almost like a jewel inside of it. It's hard to describe, but it was able to see far distances, if that makes any sense. Like I could see in places where I was not, but I have been, if that makes sense. So like I said, no rush. I just feel like it might be helpful to Mike, because I might be able to, like I said, I could be able to see our friends over there in the mountain, to actually go in there and kind of still keep an eye on them and just things like that. I feel like it might help out, but it's not a pressing matter.
So then what do we want to do? What do we want to plan for?
I just want to see Brobat, but it seems like it's going to be pretty difficult to do. But did Daisy May? She said that she's met with Brobat before. Am I not misremembering? I thought she.
Yeah, she told you that she had gone to his place, which Azure just told you that she doesn't know where that is. So yeah, Daisy May
Anyone
does have
message Daisy May?
That's just going to see if I can.
Does anyone have brain messages?
I think I can. Hold on a second. That's what I was going to.
I have sending.
And I don't have it now, but I can definitely pray on it for tomorrow if need be. But if you can, if you can send a message out, I think Daisy May might be the best help we have at this moment.
Right. Am I
Do you
just
want to find Brobat?
Or she might even know about it. When she was in it more so than any of us were.
That's fair.
I only have 25 words, so might want to craft this.
So, yes, I'm not always the best with words, so maybe someone else might want to give it.
Need info on Brobat or Alexio? ?
How about and instead of or?
And That works too. And slash or.
Slash the word
but maybe
slash.
more
or.
specific.
Slash counts as one of the 25 words.
But
Come on.
a question mark will sound like you are asking her if she wants info, not if she has info.
And should we be more specific? Because we know where Lixio lives, and we don't really want to know where he lives. And she just spends 25 words talking about where he lives. It's not going to be helpful. Where you meet Brobat? Where do you meet Brobat?
Or how can we get in contact with Brobat? Maybe something like that too. Like if we can't see, how can we get in contact?
How meet Brobat or send message? Please and thank you.
Oh Lord.
Oh, boy.
Maybe not that please and thank you. Maybe just the please. Please,
Dearest Daisy May.
Dearest Daisy May, the war has been long. Minds were stinky.
Oh God. So I'm gonna cast sending.
Okay.
So Daisy May. This is Artemis. We need to know where Brobat is and where Alexio is. Do you have God, stress?
6 more words.
That info. That's it.
Do you
You
have
got 4 more words.
And let her know that I hope that she is doing well, if possible. I don't know if you already said anything or not, but
Hope you're okay. That's
Hope
4.
you good, hottie.
Hope you're alive. Okay, and it just cuts off.
Okay.
silence.
Kind of
That makes
send this halting message out magically, and you feel it kind of leave the air. You wait for a beat, and then you hear a voice with a drawl come back into your brain. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. I'm going to give you Daisy May's message so you can all plan.
Yay.
You hear, I just wanted to see what the reaction would be. You hear Daisy May reply, I thought I told you all to get out of town.
Yeah, that wasn't what happened.
Bunch of idiots. Brobat,
in the message.
Brobat, his door is pure black in lower level. Elixio lives somewhere on top shelf. That's all I know. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh God, I hope we make it back from Niagara Falls on Saturday. God damn it.
I thought we were playing later.
All right. Well, you all have a lot of new information, a new ally in Azurnok, and a day ahead of you when we come back next week. So thank you everybody for watching, and tune in next time to see what they do now that they're out of the mines, back in Fluross, and on the trail of Elixio. Thank you everybody.